This conference will now be recorded.
Cottage Grove Town Board will hold a public meeting beginning at 7 p.m. on Monday, March 7th, 2022 at the Town Hall, 4058 County Road N. You can also join the meeting by GoToMeeting. We have a quorum present. The meeting was posted at the Town Hall and on the website. I'll call the meeting to order and we'll stand for the flag pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have the minutes from February 21st.
Move approval of both the public hearing and the town board meeting as presented.
Second.
Motion by Williams, second by Dupuis to approve the minutes for February 21st on the public hearing in the regular town board meeting as presented. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You have closed session. Bill or more?
Move approval of the town board closed session meeting minutes and that they stay closed.
Second.
Motion by Dupuis, second by Williams to approve the minutes as presented for the closed session and to keep them closed. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Finance report and approval of bills.
You got an extra set of bills over there by you?
Well, what?
Extra set of bills? I didn't get any.
You think-
You didn't get one? Go in front of you? It was. Yeah, there.
Is that the one I signed and sent back?
No.
Okay.
I didn't take it.
Take a look at that one.
I move approval of checks 35323 through 35351 be paid with 35309 being voided.
Motion by Dupuis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Anders to approve checks 35,323 through 35,351 be paid with check 35,309 being voided. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You also have your unaudited cash and investment balance of $3,145,355.42. And you have the February per diems.
Motion to approve the per diems as presented.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Fonder to approve the per diems as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Anything else?
No.
We paid our loans, the ones paid off. How many more years do we have on the North Star Road?
That was our third payment.
So we got 7 left?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do you know what the balance is?
After this one, it's 445,863.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, still waiting to hear from the auditors, but after tonight, I hope that once we do the budget resolution, that will be the last thing.
Okay. All right, next item is public concerns. Public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. Is there anyone online for public concerns? No? All right, any road right-of-way permits?
Just one. That's the Village, Clark Street.
You got those drawings?
I went through them about 3 times. I mean, the only thing they're really doing is they're gonna cut the road open and put that sanitary sewer, there's a water.
Storm
pond, storm sewer to the pond, and then under.
You
Clark and
think we
Violet.
should have Nick look at it at all?
He should probably get them forwarded to him probably, just to look it over, but I mean, all they're doing is putting that one pipe under our section and pulverizing and overlaying,
Yeah.
so.
How much are they gonna cover up, other than what they open up like they did further up on Vilas, or on, on
On Violet? Yeah. Question, but Clark Street's gonna be all new blacktop. And then where they
Clark
go-
Street and Blacktop.
What? Where they go under Vilas, they're gonna replace that too. So,
Under Violet.
on Vilas, last year, they didn't replace the whole road. They just did the portion they cut out,
right, but
This,
our side of Vilas, though, it's breaking up, or it's starting to anyway, because
Yeah.
of the fact that they were so hard on it
yeah, that won't happen here because they're gonna redo all but.
in my lifetime.
No, Clark Street's gonna get all redone.
No, I'm saying in my lifetime, I mean, we've been waiting for how many
This
decades?
summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We're planning on paying for our portion to get it done at the same time.
Yeah, the
Tie it in.
blacktop, yep. Yeah, we're just paying for the blacktop, so.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Anders, second by Duplay to approve the road right-of-way permit for the Village of Cottage Grove on Vilas Road and Clark Street. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is discuss and consider approval of pilot agreement between the town and Sunvest LLC. This was tabled from the February 21st meeting.
Like, good, yeah. I'm on if you have any questions. This is Bill French.
Okay, Bill, thank you.
Yeah.
Did anybody have any questions?
Looks good to me.
Yeah.
It's been by enough attorneys.
Yeah, yeah.
What was that?
It's been by enough attorneys.
I'll move approval of the payment in lieu of taxes agreement.
Second. Motion by Williams, second by Duplay to approve the payment in lieu of taxes between the town and Sunvest as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you
Thank
very much, Bill.
Thank you. Sorry it took so long.
Yeah. And are your guys meeting with Dan this week, or was that last
I met with them last week. Yeah,
for your access?
yep, everything looked good.
All right, good.
We're moving forward, so all good.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, discuss, consider adoption of ordinance 2022-03-7A, amending chapter 15, land division and planning code.
You saw the answers from both Attorney Cole and Mark Roffers to your questions last time.
Right. I was okay with the answers and the changes that they made from what questions we had.
Makes kind of sense to me.
Unless somebody has something new for tonight.
No.
So accept all the changes prior that you didn't question and accept all the changes that were answers to your questions.
Yeah.
I move approval of the adoption of ordinance 2020,
202.
0307A, Land Division and Planning Code.
Motion by Duplay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
That's fine.
To approve Town of Cottage Grove Ordinance 2022-3-7A as presented. And we won't make any comment about how it was listed in the agenda. 2202?
Oh,
You had the 0 and the 2.
that's why.
That's
you
why I was
wasn't
having trouble pronouncing it.
Yeah.
Any discussion on the motion for land division and planning codes? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider adoption of ordinance 2022-3-7B, amending chapter 6, the emergency government operations.
You noticed that Attorney Cole actually left it wide open how many members he wanted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
I think that's probably good,
Doesn't affect anyone, really.
because then if we wanted to have 5 or 7 even, we could.
Yeah.
We could do that just at the appointments.
Yeah, if there's some crisis or something, we could add more, whatever,
Yeah.
depending on the time.
So I guess I would propose that if this passes tonight, we bring Richard back at our next meeting to approve
Yeah.
him and maybe talk about having a 5th person on, maybe from the town board.
We can talk about it. 2 people from the town board.
2 people from the town board and 3 citizens. That way, if you were out of town, then we would still have somebody from the town board there that could get them into, if we had to get into this building. And there would be a backup for learning what you're doing.
Okay, somebody that likely would not have to be there, every meeting or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could think about, we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks good to me. I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
Motion by Fongers, second by Williams to approve Town of Cottage Grove Ordinance 2022-3-07 on emergency government operations. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstentions? Motion carried. Next item, discuss, consider approval of use of ARPA funds to purchase Badger books.
So you see what they cost. There's basically one server, if you will, and 3 clients. And it's like its own little standalone network. It's not attached to anything else, but they talk to each other. So obviously if someone checks into one station, then all the other stations know they already voted, but it doesn't connect to the internet, so it can't be hacked into that way. But anyways, you'll see that there's basically 2 different lists of equipment. And so one is all of the things needed for the server and the router and all that. Each one comes with a printer. They each have the 4-year support included in this price. I was told that it will be close to get it for August So we need to get, if we're gonna do this, we need to do it now. The Elections Commission would really like us to have a smaller election under our belt before we use it in November. If it really came down to it though, it sounds like we might be able, if we absolutely can't get it for August, we might still be able to use it in November. Because they'll want us to, I think, if we have them, but anyway.
Does every municipality and township, is it the same equipment?
Yeah, it's approved,
so it's-
it's a state approved equipment, just like all of
Okay.
the equipment is, right? Right. So, it's gonna, I guess, I don't think any of you ever actually watched any of the videos, but I mean, it's gonna streamline things. It will give 4 check-in stations for every election, so there are up to 4 lines that people can get into instead of just 2, and it doesn't care which district you're in. It'll be able to issue you the correct ballot slip, no matter what district you're in, so we don't need that division of the room that we used to have. It's very, it does, from what I've seen, it does a good job of guiding both the poll workers and the voter through the process of checking in. You know, it's nice and concise and clear cut. And so I think it'll streamline things in that respect. It makes work after the election easier because we don't have to account for everybody that voted. It's already in there. There's just lots of things that would bring.
In WEC is recommending we have 4,
Right.
but the quote is only for 3.
No, there's 3 clients and 1 server. There's 2 parts to that quote.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're
The
asking,
server Badger Books includes what, the 3 clients. So that's comes up with our total of 4.
No, if you look at the first page of a quote, there's 3 of everything there.
Yeah,
And then the next page has, the next quote has 1 of everything. So
So that's the 4.
So that makes
that's the
4.
4.
Yeah, that's what he was asking.
Yeah. So there are.
so
4.
basically you're asking for about $8,000.
Yep.
3 and 1.
okay.
It says you have to do both.
Yeah,
Both need to be
both
purchased.
quotes, 208 and 210.
I move approval of ARPA funds to purchase Badger Books.
Both.
Both, well,
The 2 quotes that we have.
and the other one is from Paragon Development Systems.
Yeah, they are both are. So just to purchase the 4.
I'll
Correct.
second that.
Motion by Duplace, second by Williams to use ARPA funds to buy 4 Badger Books and the accompanying hardware, software that we need. Any discussion on that motion?
Thank you, Kim, for doing the research and trying to bring us along.
Yeah, it really will. Really will bring us along. Who was the second? I missed it. Okay.
Williams.
This
There's no
is Kathy
discussion?
Christoph. I'm not sure how to enter the discussion.
Okay, we'll
Um,
try.
So it's Kathy Christoph. I serve as chief on some of the elections. And I watched all the videos, and I think it's a really good idea to get these because it will be more accurate and save the poll workers a lot of time and save time on the closing. And I have a friend that served on an election in another state recently, and they used similar equipment, and she said it was very smooth and very accurate and very secure. So I support it.
Good, thank you.
And I guess
You're
I should
welcome.
too, I mean, to use the ARPA funds, this is also going to mean, you know, less congestion of poll workers, less congestion of voters. I mean, it's going to open things up again in the room, I think.
Yeah,
And
you get them through faster.
get them through faster, keep things moving faster, not have so many long lines. Yeah.
Right,
Yep. I think that it can be easily justified as the health benefits that you need to be using ARPA funds.
yeah. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Next item, discuss and consider use of ARPA funds for radio replacement. You have a note from Deer Grove EMS and at fire, we talked about it, and I think the conclusion was seeing as how you've applied for the AFT grant. As soon as we know if either we're get it or if we're denied, then we would have the approval for use of the ARPA funds to purchase them at that point. It's kind of our recommendation. The village come up with the same idea?
They just voted yes on it. Yeah, they did the same thing. I think we talked to the joint fire committee about trying to order them now and then whatever, if we got the grant, we would just pay for them but we found out we can't do that. We can't, not only can we not purchase them, but we can't even commit to purchasing them. Otherwise it invalidates the grant. So really, this would be just to earmark it and hopefully we get the AFG grant, but
if not, we can move right away and get them ordered.
Yeah.
And would you do the same thing then for Deer Grove EMS?
Clearly, they both need it.
Yeah, they're all the same radios.
Eric is on.
Eric is on.
And if the two members, Town of Deerfield and Town of Pleasant Springs, approve using their ARPA funds for it, it's a little less money. If not, we pick it up. The three, Cottage Grove and Village of Deerfield, have to pick it up, but it's something we need to do.
Agreed.
Yeah, so to decipher the memo, the request would be no more, would be the $24,111.61 as the high mark. It would probably come in lower than that. You also probably notice a difference in the prices from what I put in my memo as compared to what Nick provided. Nick is present day prices. My prices come from the AFG grant, and that's what we requested through that process. We're likely to come in under that, so the request ultimately will be less than that $24,000 number, but we'd rather quote MSRP and be pleasantly surprised by a number under it than risk coming in and need to ask for more.
For clarification from mine were all quoted, like you said, present day, but then I took all the costs and I added 20% to it in case the prices went up between now and the time. Just so I'm hoping that it obviously comes in a lot less than what I quoted you also, but I hope 20% is enough for wiggle room for increase. So.
And I think at some point we'll have the discussion with the village as to who's going to pay for the town-owned apparatus that should become district-owned.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Can I call in sick for that meeting?
Yeah, I'm coming down with the same thing.
Sure, leave me out there to dry. Okay. Do we get a motion?
Can we have a motion?
What would it be for?
To be able to use the ARPA funds for radio replacement if we don't get the AFG grant.
So you're basically earmarking the 24,000 that Eric quoted plus what our percent is this year of the fire one
Fire
plus
radios.
the town owned one. So I think that's,
I'll second the chair's motion. You did such a great job.
So if we get the AFG grant, we don't use the ARPA funds. If they turn it down again, then we use the ARPA funds and get them ordered. Was the
Sounds good.
motion.
Yep.
Motion by Hampton, second by Anders, I guess. Discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss, consider replacement and financing of Guides Grove Fire Department Squad 1. What did the village say?
They approved replacing it, but they did not want to do a prepay. They want to
wait till
pay on delivery.
So they wanted the second option?
I think they wanted to do cash on delivery, which there's no discount for that. That's,
So then we can take the full $27,000 off our payment?
Well, that was my suggestion. I thought, seeing we're gonna have to borrow the money, and if we can get a commitment, a legitimate, firm, cast in stone commitment from the village that they will pay for their portion of it, why don't we pay for the whole thing up front? We'll take the discount because the interest difference between when we were to write the check and we get the check from the village, certainly, the interest won't eat up at all. And I just figured it would be just that much less money for us that we would have to pay for the truck.
they did discuss doing that, having you, because you guys mentioned that at the meeting. I can't speak for them if they did discuss it as being an option, but they don't have it in the budget for
They don't have the money.
2022. They want to pay for it. It's in their budget for 2023, which is why they didn't want to do a prepay.
Well, they just don't have
If that's the option you guys want to do, you'd have to reach out to John Williams or the rest of the board and figure out the logistics of it.
Yeah.
I guess I don't want to speak for them.
So then they'll get the discount, even though
No.
you funded the money in advance.
No, they will not.
Mm-mm.
Whatever their portion of
696.
696.83, that's what they will pay. We pay,
$27,000 less.
right, because we're gonna buy it.
Portion.
Huh?
Of our portion. We'd pay 27,000 less than our portion.
But we're
because we
paying,
Took the discount. and
right,
paid
because we're
for
gonna
it.
pay the whole thing. We're to buy the whole truck ourselves. Take the $27,000 discount. The village then would pay us whatever their portion of the 690, the list price would be. And it would save us a bunch of interest money. I mean, we could use that discount to help pay for the interest money and
The
stuff.
interest that we're going to be paying on it.
Right.
Is there any issue with collateral because it's not all ours or anything with the bank, do you think? Or if there's an agreement, that'll be okay?
That's for you guys to figure out. I just came up with the idea. You guys could make it happen if you can.
That's just what came to mind to me.
Yeah, it may not work, but
We don't normally have collateral. We haven't on any of the loans, so.
Next sheet study. What's our interest rate on North Star Road?
North Star is 3.294. And the last truck that we bought for that 5-year loan is 1.99. And I spoke to the bank today, and the rate that they would give us on $1 million for 10 years would be between 2% and 2.4. It'd be lower if we made yearly payments.
Yeah.
So that's just what numbers should be. And then I looked at what the state rate was, and for 11 to 20 years, it's 4%. So they're higher.
Significantly higher.
And there isn't a question with the village coming up next year. Well, wait a minute, we want that part of that discount too.
Well, I would.
Get what I'm saying?
I would think we would want to have Bill draw up
Damn
a
right.
contract.
yeah,
Contract
that was part of the discussion also.
that says, okay, come pick a date in 23, they're gonna pay their portion of that 696 to us because we prepaid it. And we have until when to approve this?
It was 60 days from the date of issue and it's issued
February 2nd, is that
February
the
2nd, so
April?
it'd be right around April, beginning of April, I would think.
Yeah. Should do it by our next meeting, I think, to be sure we get it on time. You don't want to go over 50 days.
No. I mean, I think we've got enough time to figure out all the answers.
Right.
You know, Deb can wave her magic wand and make it happen.
If I was in the village, I'd be going, wow, if I was somebody looking at the village, not being able to do it now and getting their portion of the discount, I'd be hot. If I was not somebody on the board,
Yeah.
I'm talking somebody that lives in the village.
Right. That's it.
And it's like, well, it doesn't mean anything, it's 12, 13,000,
Yeah,
no big deal.
But it's important to us.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous.
Well, I would suggest whatever motion you make, if you're looking at paying for it all, that it's dependent on Bill being able to draft an agreement that the village will sign prior to 60 days.
I will make that
So he'd have to have that by
with the
next
chair's
meeting, right?
suggestions.
For us to look at, to forward to them.
But if they're not gonna meet again till after the 60 days,
The village meets the same day we meet.
I know, so it's almost gotta be before then.
We have to have it at our next meeting so that we can get it to them.
Right. We need
And get it
the agreement from Bill to present to them, because our next meeting in April would be,
Yeah,
Before.
that's the
The
fourth.
village might not meet before the 60 days is up.
Yeah,
If you
that's
did that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If
that's
you
what
don't think the
happened.
village board, sure they will. They got
Your
another.
meeting, well, if they meet the same day, they meet the same day as you guys, so if you guys.
So if
look
we
at
don't
the
approve it
contract,
right now,
Well, we have to
the
prove
next
it.
one,
We have to prove it. I made the motion with Chris's suggestions about doing that. The town pays for it, but having the bill draw up an agreement for the village to sign stating that they will,
at their next meeting.
or whenever. They got 2 meetings to go.
No, they've only got one.
Yeah. We got second one in March.
and the first one in April.
First one is April, is after
Is
April.
April-
Second.
Oh, that's right, because I mean, we've already killed
it.
it.
You only have 28 days.
Yeah,
in
we've already killed
February.
February, so.
Right.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
somebody's gonna have to get to the village like next week and see if they'll go along with it, obviously.
Well, if you had an agreement at your next meeting and their next meeting and you both approved it the same night, as long as you got them on board with looking at it, but obviously if it goes back and forth any more than that, you're gonna be,
We're gonna be
Yeah.
screwed.
Yeah.
So it will depend on Bill drafting it, convincing their attorney that it's okay, and then
yeah.
have us both look at it
Next,
on the 21st.
Yeah, if you could
Yeah.
work with their attorney and they were at least both in agreement, that would probably help.
Yeah,
So they said they were not gonna pay for it till next fiscal.
not until 23.
they said they deferred to cash on delivery, so that wouldn't even be 2023. That would be,
Yeah, they deferred to cash on delivery
that would be 2024.
and they did know that they had it in their budget for 2023. But they did talk about exactly your option. They did talk about losing out on the interest and understanding that if they went that way, I think Paul's the one that said it, that said, and John Williams actually said something too, that it was probably understood that if you prepaid it, the town was
It's almost 2 years out. You're,
exercised the.
it's 2 years out.
It's delivered.
Yeah, so normally, I explained this over at the village too. Normally what we would do is like, we would put the price together and we'd come to you guys in September when you were doing your budget for a purchase in
Right.
2023. But because the lead times are so drawn out and there's definitely, they already told us there's a price increase coming in May, expect 5 to 7%. It was like, the JFC thought it would be best to order it now before that happens. And, you know, I know when we did the engine and the tender, we did cash on delivery, so I think that's what we were originally discussing, but if you guys,
Because I don't know that the discount was that great on the last vehicle that we bought.
it would have been about the same as this, because they're pretty, well, the engine or the tender would have been less because it's based on the percentage of the cost of the truck. The tender was for something, 450, I think it was. But it would have been about the same as the cost of the engine because this is pretty close to the same cost as the engine.
So the village will still get a benefit by having us pay in advance, paying now, and then paying it next year. If the price goes up, which it will. You get what I'm saying?
True. So both win in that regard, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing too is like if you guys decided to do no prepayment, you just decided to sign the contract, you cash on delivery, this 698, whatever, 690.
696, 863.
That locks your price.
Yeah.
Like, if regardless of the price increases that are coming, that's your price. So which is why we ordered engine 3 so far out, because that same truck now would be $110,000 more than you guys paid for it. So.
Question for you, because of the comment you made about, you were told that looking for 5 to 7% price increase back in May or whatever. Do you honestly believe that I'm just looking for a safety valve here? There's any wiggle room on that April 2nd? You know, if we turns out to be, if we say we can't get back to them until April 15th, you know.
I could reach out to them to find out, but.
You know, just tell them that.
So what I can give you a little backstory here. So you guys, with your tender, you built a commercial chassis, right?
Right.
What ended up happening is like the commercial market's really bad. They're saying like 3 years out on a commercial chassis right now. Yours is gonna be on time because you got your order in at the right time and your price was locked. The prices of just your chassis alone has gone up 60,000 on that truck. And what Pierce did, instead of passing that cost on to the customer, they're eating it. So that's why they're doing these price increases, because they aided on all these commercial ones. And what they told us, there was already a price increase this year, which was February 1st. We talked about it at the JFC meeting. We just couldn't get it built that quick. He said that Pierce was not like midnight, February 1st, across the board, everybody's getting this increase. Didn't matter if you were in one truck or if there was a department ordering 47 trucks. They raised the price on all 47 of them because it was after midnight. So I don't think they're gonna move on that because.
Okay. No, it didn't hurt to ask, you know.
We have to move quickly.
Whatever you wish to do.
I already have a motion on the table.
I'll second it.
What was it again?
I'm gonna have to ask the clerk to read it back to me then. 'Cause I don't remember what you
You
said.
made half of it.
Yes.
You're approving the 100% prepayment option with the $27,000
Discount.
discount contingent on our attorney drafting an agreement that the village attorney will recommend to the village board for approval at the next meeting.
For
our
them
next
to
meeting.
pay us
For them to
in
pay-
April of 23.
Yeah, okay,
At their meeting on March 21st.
yes.
Any discussion?
Yeah, just we're still being very nice to them. I hope they would realize this. Honestly, I'm serious.
Yeah.
They never seem to realize that we do things that are
Well, I
good
think
for both of us.
I think the one guy, who's it, Paul? I think he realized it.
Yeah.
He realized it, you know, because he told you guys exactly what he felt. You know, that it's just foolish. We're just begging for a disaster to happen.
Any other discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. My only other question I would ask Bill, with paying that full amount 18 months before we ever see it, do we have to worry if
They
they
out of
go
business.
bankrupt?
Who they?
Yours.
Company.
Pierce
Yeah.
or Reliant?
That's what the village asked.
I mean,
Well,
I don't want to pay that kind of money and not have,
Anything to show for?
yeah. Yeah, so I would
That
like
is a good
some
point.
security or something
Are
from
they insolvent or something, or what?
Pierce?
No,
Yeah,
no.
you just never know.
we've been buying in advance for
But if you,
Years.
ever, haven't we?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no change there. We've never asked it for it before, but
I think
No.
this is probably the first time you guys.
I'm sure they have error and emissions insurance, if they do.
I mean, if they have something like that, I would be fine with it, but I guess I just don't know
They have to have
right now.
a normal business.
Yeah. So did we vote?
Yep.
All those in favor of the
You
motion
did.
signify.
We did?
Oh, we did, okay. So now financing, all of this money, do we want to look at bonding or what? Because we're gonna have over $1 million because you're gonna have this, say 700,000, we got 450 on the tanker and we had our portion of the engine. Do we want to have Ellers come in and talk to us about what it would cost us to do a bond
I think it'd be wise.
versus just going to the local banks?
Yes.
I would think so.
I think we're gonna get it something less than,
I don't know.
I can't see how we could possibly.
I,
We're only talking 2.something%. I don't know what you get in a bond. Any clue? Can't be less than that.
A couple years ago, I tried to read through this and it was confusing, so.
That's confusing
It's
for
worth
you.
talking about.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, but
Maybe he could just tell you right off the bat if it's even worth it, because I wouldn't think it would be. I'm just in a situation, I just don't want to see us end up with the way the village does stuff. That we get to a point where
Well, I
we're
told you,
carrying debt
I told you.
way too much.
They're talking about, they're already talking about their budget year 2027 and
So,
the village.
oh, I can believe that.
And they're gonna be another $500,000 in debt with this freaking library
Now they're way over.
No, not 500, 500,000 is all?
per year.
oh.
Yeah, well, they
Operating costs.
And
they can't carry the amount of debt they have and add that library on. That's the problem.
Yeah, and they even told me point blank right to my face, this isn't an article for the township to concern itself. This is just for the village.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Okay. I will call Ellers and see what they can tell me. And or if they want to talk to us. Sure. Hopefully, maybe as early as our next meeting.
Are you gonna reach out to Mac Easy then, or somebody from the village and talk to them about what your motion was and what you guys approved, or?
No. Not until after Bill talks to their attorney about our assurance that we get paid.
Okay.
And let their attorney talk to them somehow about it.
We just want to save you as much money as we possibly can before I keep.
Because I'm not gonna know what they discussed in closed session tonight.
It's only money, right?
Yeah, for the
the money to keep them.
The fires will keep burning if we got it, got them or not, right?
Yeah,
Did you go to the Deerfield fire,
yeah,
the lightning?
I was out there, yeah. So,
Okay. Anything else on financing, fire? Discuss and consider quotes for janitor services.
We can't afford it. We just bought a truck.
You're assigned the first week of the month. Mike, you're the second week of the month.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Take the
For
second
cleaning.
and third, and
And,
second and fourth would be the easiest.
We'll have a barbecue.
and this is the stuff that was left underneath my desk today. Sucker stick and a time to order cookies.
Oh, from the Girl Scouts. Okay,
So just keep in mind, and I didn't catch this at first either, these prices are all per cleaning.
weekly.
Yeah, well, so you've got 90 and 60 and 90 times 4, basically, and plus 120 times 2 every month. Those are just weekly cleanings. This isn't like your monthly bill, like I was thinking it was. But anyway, one is considerably more than the other, so.
So what were we paying currently monthly?
We pay $275 for the emergency services building and five something,
Was it five?
505 or 525 or something split between all the other buildings
Monthly.
monthly. So we're probably paying $800 a month or so now.
And there, this one, the town hall, weekly price is 285.
Yeah, that one is considerably higher.
Yeah.
Better do a better job then.
Yeah, we are getting what we pay for right now, that's for sure.
And Crystal Cleaners is 90 for the town hall.
Oh, I just went.
And this exhibit, well, I think I put it in your packet, didn't I? What the exhibits that were mentioned on the Crystal Cleaners ones, I attached those. Those are basically off of our current contract,
Yeah.
which is what Chris gave them as a reference. And they both got that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So Crystal Cleaners would be $360 a week. And
No, it wouldn't be 360 a week because the emergency services building is only every other
Every
week.
other week.
every other week.
Yeah. 240, about 300, budget 300 a week.
Yeah, that's what I kind of average it out to too.
So we're paying what right now?
503 and 275. 503.
I think it might be a little more than that because it went up to add these 2 rooms, but around that area, it's around
That's
$800.
monthly.
Yeah, around 800, I think, a month if you round it up roughly.
Ooh, even Crystal Cleaners would be a lot higher than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That David Cruz, I mean, he's $1,500 a week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's $6,000 a month.
Jesus, I'll
No
never do it.
thanks.
Do you have any references?
How many hours do you think it take to clean?
Everything, I mean, I have no idea. I know they're usually in here less than an hour from the cameras.
You probably have an 2.5 between Flynn here and police.
Yeah,
Fire would be a little longer because it's a bigger building.
and you know, the tasks are, you know, be a little different every week depending on if they're doing all of them or some of them based on those exhibits. It's everything you don't do every week. Well, I guess these, yeah.
Are they supplying all their cleaners?
The quote from Foods, or whatever they are, Natural Cleaning. They do say this including our cleaning supplies. I thought I heard you over telling them that supplies were here.
For paper towels, toilet paper, liners
Okay,
were the only 3 things that I said we supply.
okay, all right.
Because that's what we've always gotten.
Safety companies usually add, you know, they usually add like $100 an hour just for
Mhm.
supplies, you know, and that kind of stuff. If you pay somebody $20 an hour and you got 100 for supplies, there's 20 right there, just an hour.
I move approval of Crystal Cleaning Services.
There's a motion by Duplay. Is there a second?
Got to be done.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Second by Fonger to select Crystal
Yes.
Cleaners.
Do they guarantee their work?
Any better than me?
As much as,
The village uses them and they really like them. And it's hard to get anybody to ever say they really like a cleaner, so. I guess that might be something.
there was a motion and a second to go with Crystal Cleaners on the quote provided. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Now we have discussed, consider adoption of budget amendment 2021-01. Is that really the
It might be.
number it should be?
I thought I changed that heading in.
2022-01?
No, this is a 2021 budget.
Okay,
So that's why it's a resolution on that budget.
okay.
You made 2021 budget.
This is the
For last
2020
year's budget.
Okay.
These are the final adjustments to
okay.
move everything around based on all the motions that you made all year, basically, right? So that it's cleaned up for the auditors.
So you're making it official now,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Only about $215,000.
Pocket change for Fogger.
You got getting right. Somebody ready to check?
yes, please,
Tonight, please.
before you go,
Okay, all
or
right.
change your mind.
It's just shifting the money into the right spots, correct?
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Fonger, second by Duplay to approve budget resolution 2021-01 as presented. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Public Works.
I don't have a whole lot.
went on vacation after it snowed that morning and had to rush home, get hit me. So we get to our flight in Milwaukee. But Friday, last week, we had that snow Friday morning.
And you still got 8.5 hours.
I know. And the guys had to clean up without me, so they did a good job. Yeah, and they did really good when I was gone. No issues. We started sign maintenance. They did inventory on signs that needed to be replaced for the year. And weight limits were supposed to go up today, but they'll go up tomorrow. We didn't get to that today.
Plow snow, right?
Yeah, so we'll get those up in the morning. That's all I have for now.
Okay. Clerk's office.
With a draft of the annual report at each of your spots. I have all the articles in now. We're still obviously waiting for the final financial report for last year,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there's typos in there, so please read it and help me find them.
Okay.
And hopefully. So other than that, put out the schedule for the election workers for April, so I'm getting geared up for that. Ballots should be here at the end of the week. And the guys are gonna take the ballot drop box that we can't use down so that there's nobody driving by saying that the town of Cottage Grove is still using one. They're also gonna put a,
Just cover it.
no, it comes out pretty easy.
Yes.
I don't want
Yeah.
anything, I don't want anything that somebody can drive by and say, I saw the town of Cottage Grove doing something that
I'll just
we.
throw it in the basement.
And so they're also gonna put some kind of a cover over the general purpose drop box on the side of the building because people cannot use that either. And I do not want to take a chance that somebody
You have to
puts
hand
their
it to them.
ballot in there and then I have to track them down. I'm not taking any chance with that. So if people want to vote absentee, they're gonna have to follow the
Strict
rules.
procedures.
So anyway, that's all coming up here.
So the box will probably be never used again, the way
I-
it looks right now.
I don't know. I sure hope so, but I sure hopes that common sense will prevail at some point. I mean, personally, I don't understand why it's different to put it in a mailbox across town or in a box out in front of the town hall. I don't understand, but
Yeah.
there's no common sense, so. That's about it, I guess.
Board reports and communications. Heard today from Brian Grady and Attorney Cole that the city staff is comfortable with the suggested edit that we had.
Really?
Oh, my.
And they have sent the PDF that incorporates that change. The city's process will be that they'll introduce it, the IGA to Common Council meeting, have the Plan Commission consider it and make a recommendation to the Common Council, and then the Common Council will consider it. It's what the town wants to do with it. We could introduce it on the 21st. Do you want to send it to the Plan Commission for, they meet on the 23rd, is it? Just, and then have it come back to us at that meeting in April, or what would your preference be for scheduling?
So you're gonna throw the plan commission, are you gonna throw a whole bunch of people at the plan commission when it gets sent to them? So that's gonna be your de facto public hearing on it?
Or you could have it there, or you could have it here. Or have both.
I guess,
The
what
city
would,
seems to be suggesting that process, right? Based on that memo, the city is suggesting that that's what the town does in a timeline.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's in that memo.
and,
But that's nothing to do with them. That's not their call.
well, that's kind of what I was
Just
thinking.
their
That's what they were.
information they're putting out, that's all. That's a timeline they're looking at.
Yeah,
But we don't have to go by the
No.
timeline. I mean, have they been involved with it at all? So far?
Planning council
No,
No.
or
Our plan commission.
our plan? Yes. Yeah, they've,
They were involved
They
with
were-
with looking at the map from, and mostly,
yeah,
yeah, but not in the document.
right? And the map hasn't changed since they've
Right.
seen it.
So God, we're just throwing,
so you're
more coals on
looking,
the fire
look-
to get more people involved.
looking at the city to approve it either March 29th or April 19th, somewhere in
Yeah.
there. So it's what you would prefer for the town to have for a process.
I would say we just go by what we did last time. I don't know if we're gonna have any kind of open meeting or,
Just have a
Somebody's-
public hearing
Yeah.
here
yeah.
at the town
And
board.
if the planning commission wants to be here, they be here, that's all.
Do you want that on the 21st then?
How, are you just gonna post it as usual, or are you gonna do any extra notification of the people in the area again, or? 'Cause that'll determine how quick you can get this
That
done.
probably would good CYA thing.
Will it have gone through all the city steps by that time?
No.
With the
No.
town?
So we don't know if they even would have approved it through
So
the,
I would wait.
yeah, I would say so, and then we would approve it at the end.
Yeah.
Then we would, what would we do then if they didn't approve it?
Right.
Then we're right back where we were. So we gotta wait pretty much for Madison to do their thing, I would say.
Yeah, because you as a board know what it is. They haven't even seen it yet, right?
Yeah,
I'm assuming they haven't.
that's what I would say. I think we gotta wait and see what happens with Madison first.
I agree.
I just
Because
don't-
this is the biggest, to me anyway, the biggest issue with the people on the western border of the township. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a biggie. That was,
And they weren't happy with it.
right, no, not at all. So now they can't be forced to have somebody else force them in, which was the big issue.
Yeah, it has to be unanimous.
Right.
So we should ask Brian if I need to come to either their plan commission or any of their common council meetings, I guess.
You'll be-
To
you'll
get
be
crucified.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know if they would want that or not, but we should ask that question. Because otherwise I probably wouldn't plan on going.
Chicken.
That's all that I had. You saw that on the 10th is that landfill meeting. Committee reports, fire. Talked about radios, we talked about the truck. They used that new high pressure thing that they had on the brush truck for one car fire. Said it worked well. There. And we're meeting on the 24th is our next meeting, I believe. So we'll be landfill.
Oh, they're meeting that night too? I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
Kim, it'll be the usual for landfill.
okay.
we might have minutes.
Yeah, I think I might have them from the last meeting, but I'll be in touch about that. We're missing a bunch of minutes there.
Yeah, we have both landfill and fire on the 24th.
I didn't know that.
Anything else?
Yes, what's happening with the survey, the park shelter survey? Has
Oh, I knew there was something else I was gonna bring up, so I sent it to all of you guys. Couple of you looked at it. My plan is, unless somebody has something they want to change before, I'm probably gonna go live with it this week.
Good.
And
I
then,
thought it was great.
I thought it was
and then
excellent.
the book, the annual report will be a second push on that. A second reminder for the people that haven't taken it yet or aren't online, I guess. So that's the plan, yeah.
Great. Thought it was very well done.
Carrie Robbins of the Parks Committee helped a lot on it.
We should confirm with Bill Cole that he's available to be here on April 19th for the annual meeting.
Oh, yeah. And you're not putting anything about the IGA on that agenda, right? Originally you were, but I took it off based on last time's discussion.
I don't know.
No,
No,
no.
Okay.
will we adjourn?
Second.
Motion by Duplace, second by Williams. It's non-debatable. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Give me a total amount that we might want to put in that bond. 3 fire trucks, maybe